Hello and good evening. It is the AFL Armchair Advisors. We are back in the studio for round 3 of this AFL 2021 season. Now, boys, it is of course Easter, that holiest of holy days on the calendar. And, we have got a selection of games coming up for you this week, obviously with an Easter theme. Now, I'm your host of the Armchair Advisors. It's Rich. Joining me is my main man. It's Sensible Dan. How are you, mate?
I'm feeling very festive.
It is a festive atmosphere in here. You are correct because It is Easter this week. Everyone's going away. Everyone's going to be eating some eggs, having a nice time with the family.
A few beers.
More than a few. Mount Frothy Oscos will get climbed this weekend. We tasked our global field correspondent Desmond Van Bus with decorating the studio in a festive manner to celebrate the season. I was thinking some eggs. Maybe he's going to come in with some bunny ears. The clod evidently didn't understand the meaning of the word festive, and so now you have to put up with this monstrosity for a week. But having said that, welcome Desmond Van Bus. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Do you know, I'm just thinking the most wonderful time of the year is obviously Christmas. So,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
So why not bring that out in April? Why not bring it out in April?
Why do you do any of the things that you do, though?
Look, let's be honest here, Rich. It's our fault for not specifying. When you give a task to adult and don't specify exactly what it is you want, you get what you deserve.
Did you say adult or assault?
But there's another thing. Can't hear, won't listen. We are forging ahead. Now, boys, I came in, I wanted this to be a snappy show. We've been flabby the last couple of weeks. I wanted us to be punchy. I wanted us to be hitting our marks. I want time checks. I want weather checks. If you're going outside and it's raining, be careful. That's armchair weather. That's done for this week. Do you know what I mean? We can tick that off already.
Bunch of box tickers we are.
We are. If there's one thing we do with boxes, it's tick them.
We tick them.
Let's tick the big Thursday. I think that's a good start. I think it's a fine start. But let us tick the Thursday night game box. That is going to wind me up all evening. Mm-hmm. I swear to God.
Do you guys hear that? I think Father Christmas is here. Just kidding. It's the stock of the week. So my lock of the week.
They don't even know who's playing. I didn't even say who's playing on the Thursday
It doesn't matter because it's Collingwood and Brisbane. Collingwood and Brisbane on a Thursday night, I believe. It's not a Friday night game, is it? Can we please confirm
him
that?
Where's security? Get this man out of the room.
It's my stock of the week, which is my lock and my dog of the week in one because the lines are going to get up because it's been moved. I believe it's been moved from the Gabba.
We don't know what day it is. We know who's playing, but we don't know where it's been.
It's been a rough week, all right. Have a look at the set. I've messed up already. It's my Mason cock. No, it's been moved from the Gabba. I'm backing it in. It's been moved from the Gabba.
Where is it?
It's Marvel Stadium.
Yeah, it was a 50-50.
It was
it was Marvel. I know it was Marvel Stadium. I knew it had been moved. I
wouldn't have been surprised if he'd said Timbuktu.
If I said CG, what do they call it? CSIRO Stadium. What's that? It's the one in Canberra. What's that? What do they call that?
I hate you.
TIO Stadium.
That's in Northern Territory.
Is it?
Oh my God. We're not talking to him anymore for the evening. We're not back. Oh.
Stock of the week. The Lions are going to get up. They're going to get up. They're my lock of the week. They're my dog of the week. At $2.05. Oh my God. They played they finished off the game quite well against Geelong in Geelong. They're going to crunch Collingwood. Collingwood might have played well against Carlton, and guess what? Carlton have shown to be the side that we've expected every single year.
You want to know the worst part about this? Is I'd written down here that I was going to tip the Lions, but if this is your stock of the week and you're Wall Street, I'm selling everything. Pies, 1 to 39.
I'm actually going to punch this, man.
Just based on your
Lions.
Your rundown and your tip, I'm all in on the Pies this weekend.
Lions going to win, baby.
I just can't. I can't with this.
I'm angry.
Yeah, I know.
I'm angry.
Lions do desperately need a win here. They're
going to.
Pretty ordinary. Lockie Neal, absolutely toothless so far.
Yeah.
I agree.
After what he did to teams last year, he's not backing this up at all. And interestingly, Adams, Grundy, De Goey, they all got back into a bit of form last week. They looked a lot better. I was going to tip the Lions, but like I said, you just did it. You absolutely massacred that. So I'm all in on the Pies.
He's got the Midas touch is when you touch everything and it turns to gold, right? He's got the Kenny touch. You remember with that Shane Jacobson?
I do.
Yeah, the Kenny. Anything he touches turns to a giant big
And-
pile
and-
of doo-doos.
I mean, and you wanted to take this from being flabby to trim.
Yeah.
Currently, we're sitting at my 600-pound life levels of fat.
Really, I wanted this to be a short, sharp, shiny show, and this is setting a new record for us going off the rails.
Yep.
It was short, sharp, and shiny because the Lions are going to get up 1-39. Do you know the footy they played against Geelong is exactly the footy that's going to beat Collingwood? Just that attacking footy, the Pies are going to struggle with that.
Rich, what are your thoughts?
Thank you. Let's get some sensibility back in the room. Look, Brisbane, stranded in Melbourne. It's Hub Life 2.0. It's the flip.
The reverse.
It is. It's bizarro Hub Life. It's great. Look, Brisbane for mine the last 2 weeks have looked arrogant as hell. Like, do you know what I mean? Downhill skiing. If it's working for us, great. If it's too hard, not doing it. Not bothered about
Given
that.
these ones.
Not bothered about that. Yeah, and I'm putting these ones before it.
Yeah.
I'm putting these ones before it.
Round 3.
Genuinely, like they're not working as hard as they were, last year or the year before when they were genuinely hungry and wanted it. I think they're just rocking up to games and we should get it done because we're good enough. That's how it's coming across.
And I guarantee you that's driving Chris Fagan up the wall.
It would be because he's a ripping bloke and a ripping coach.
And he is, and he wouldn't be standing for this sort of nonsense. But what do? You got blokes like Lockie Neal running around on field. Think, I want a Brownlow now. I'm the best in the league. Well, you're not, mate. Trash.
3. Giving it 3s.
Yeah.
3
Garbage.
3s,
Chris
yes,
Fagan
please.
would feel how you guys feel about me.
Yeah, but at least he can.
Feeling.
At least he can bench people. You know what I mean? We're stuck.
We've got no fill-ins. No subs here.
I want to talk about the Pies very briefly. They've looked really workmanlike in that game against Carlton. Now look, it's Carlton. Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what you're going to get each week. All Collingwood could do was play their best, and compared to their round 1 effort, miles of difference. Miles of difference. Losing Elliott, that's a big hole. Even though he's
Godspeed.
a small man, a big hole means Cox needs to fill a big hole, and DeGoey. Also really important right now. Also really important with no Elliott. So I'll be interested to see where DeGoey ends up. I think he's going to play, I'd have thought maybe 75-25 forward to mid, perhaps, potentially.
They need him now. In saying that, you'd expect guys like Trey Rusco to come back into the side, who fills a hole admirably. He's not the most skillful player in the world, but he goes about it in the right way.
I'll tell you who attended a shit ton of... apologies. Of centre bounces last game, Jack Crisp for the Pies.
That was right on my list, mate.
There, see,
took it off the tip of my tongue.
He's a sensible one.
There you go.
It's a gangbang against Des today.
So who are you tipping?
Pies 1-39. I just think if they bring that intensity and that workman it's us against the world kind of attitude they had, and if Brisbane are going to be doing the whole look, if we get out in front, great. If it's too hard, we'll put the queue in the rack type of mode. Then the Pies will get it done. Added to all the uncertainty the Lions have had coming into this game, what with COVID, because now everyone's dying of COVID in Queensland or wherever else, and now they can't get home.
Yep.
There's no getting home for Christmas. Pardon the pun. Terrible setup to a game for them. Yep. No preparation. Pies have got all the advantage here. Pies. It'll be
interesting to see how they deal with it, because obviously last year they didn't have to deal with Hub Life. They got to stay in their own beds, and we know how it affected some other teams. West Coast, Collingwood in particular, they really struggled. So
damn right they did.
Now that Brisbane have their backs against the wall, what are you made of? In terms of best bets,
here we are.
Still side bottom anytime goal. Someone's going to have to slip forward, and it's probably going to be Steel, I would think. $1.45.
I can dig it.
Jack Crisp, 25 touches, as you just rightly said. Moved into the midfield randomly last week, but it worked out well. $1.53. Exactly. And young Clugger, 20 plus, $1.45. I like those 3 legs.
Very nicely done. What do you have for us on the bets? Or did you put all your efforts into this? This is... Oh, that's... I forgot that's stupid. I bought it on myself.
Lions, $2.05 to win. That's the only bet I need. Get him out.
That
is unreal.
Get him out.
So I understand why, and I can but they're just the better side. I feel like they're just the better team.
Admittedly, it is good value.
It is good value.
Admittedly, it is good value. I'm not betting
I
on it,
just
but it's
think
good value.
that I can understand the whole. Last year, I bought into a lot of those hype of, this is going on, and just the narrative of it obviously suggests that Collingwood are going to win. And guess what? We do love a narrative bet, but they always seem to burn me, and I hate being burned. So, Lions going to get up.
Giving credence to your idea of the whatever Des says, do the opposite kind of theory. I like that. Now, I've got a little multi for you fellas, a little multi. I'm liking Crisp 25. We're on the same path, that one. Pendle's 25. He's been looking great the last 2 weeks. Adams 25 as well, all for the Pies. Sorry, I've only got love for the Pies this week. That's what it is. Although that's all paying $3. 3 legs, $3. Got to like that. If you do want to give some love to the Lions, Zorko, 1 goal. Those 4 legs, four, whatever you want to do, 4 legs, $5.
It's hard to
Four
back
legs
those
for
individual
$5.
players. Like for the Lions, it's hard this week. If you look at, I haven't actually looked at the value of the goal scorers, all that kind of market, but just the inconsistency of them like playing, you don't know. Like if their best player Lockie Neal is shit in the bed, pardon my
Big
French, like how are you supposed to back in players to get touches, to get goals when their best players aren't like lifting?
It's
Not
very
coming to the
fair.
table.
If that-
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Please do. Let's leave that abysmal, atrocious nonsense behind us and look at some more abysmal, atrocious nonsense with North Melbourne playing the Western Bulldogs on Friday night at Marvel Stadium. Fellas, now we've just had a big kilo worth of fairy floss of nonsense from Desmond. Allow us now to come over to the cold, sobering, lemon-flavoured sorbet of Sensible Dan. What have you got for us on this game, mate?
Not much.
True.
It's going to be a Good Friday massacre, I think. North looked disgraceful against Gold Coast. No effort whatsoever, highlighted by Jaden Stevenson. Looked a shell of the man from the week before. You can't be doing that 2 weeks into the season.
Start calling him the heartbreak kid for the wrong reasons, mate.
The Slim Sleeper.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
nap time.
That I can get on board with. In saying that, Jed Anderson gave it everything. He ran rampant in the midfield and lone hand. Tom Power needs to be given more of a run through there. He's an absolute stud. I think he's going to be a really good player. But yeah, this is just going to be one-way traffic, I think. Dogs 40 plus, which bang, Sensible Dan's lock of the week. Port 40 plus last 2 weeks has done me well, so I'm going to back it up again. There's no way the Dogs are going to hand this to North Melbourne, and it's not even going to be close, I don't think. Last week, against the Eagles, match of the year already, I would say, for the Dogs. Jack McRae ran rampant again, 40-plus touches, dunks, Libber, everyone. It
was good showing.
Snouts in the trough, wasn't it?
The Globetrotters, mate.
But yeah.
They look brilliant. So, yeah, 40-plus, lock of the week.
Look, it's not the most adventurous lock of the week, but are we 2-0? Hey, wins are wins.
Exactly right.
Wins are wins.
Don't broke if it ain't fixed. Whatever.
Don't broke if it ain't fix it.
Look,
don't broke if it ain't fix it.
I'm Des.
That's all right, mate.
He's just permeating. It's his poison. It's just filling the room.
It seeps into your skin.
Look, speaking of being in the doldrums like this man is currently, North Melbourne, mate, it's going to be a long season. If you're a fan, just look for individual performances. Get excited about individual blokes playing their role, developing. That's really all you're going to be able to do here. Look to the future. Look to see young blokes like Bailey Scott he's started to put together a couple of nice games, unheralded, not flashy sort of an operator. If he had a mullet, maybe he would be. Yep. He's just getting around. He's a lot better now than what he was this time last year, getting reasonable games. Look, Simpkin, again, going that next level up. I'd like to continue to see blokes like Powell and Phillips continue to get game time, or more game time than they have already, because we haven't seen much of them, admittedly. It's 2 rounds in. But if you're a North fan, that's really all you've got to look forward here. I'm very sorry. As you said, the Dogs are lit. Midfield mix. Oh, boy.
Unreal, hey.
Bevo's finally got it figured out as well. He's not moving pieces around the chessboard.
Yeah.
Like, he knows where they all fit well, and they're playing as such. So, good on him.
I love it.
I love to watch it. It's very, very nice, and that's why I cut you over, hey? Cut you over.
Oh, no,
I
don't have much more to say. I having said that, I expect you might just see those first choice players just wound back a little bit. I reckon the back half of that last quarter, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Expect it to be a real quiet last
And I don't
quarter.
think that'll have much difference anyway, because they'll wind those first class players, and their second class players are first class players. So I've got Doggies 40 plus.
Yep.
Simple as that. I don't need to add anything else because there's
Consensual.
nothing to add.
Yep.
I'm very excited for this game purely because I like the Dogs this year. I would love it if Dogs finish top 4 this year. I would love it, and it's not a big call either.
Look, I think the track they're on, there's every reason
Yeah.
to say that they will. Quick little best bets: Jack McRae 35 plus, $1.80.
Easy.
If 40 plus, $3.50.
Ooh.
I don't mind that. And Mitch Wallace 2+ goals. He's been around the mark the last couple of weeks. He's struggled to jag a few, but everyone's going to be on the receiving end this week. And $1.50 for 2 is easy money.
Big Napoleon Dynamite. Get around the goose. I've got a little multi. I love a multi. Right. Dogs to win by 40 plus, which was obviously my tip. Dunkaroos, 25 touches. Caleb Daniel, 25 touches. Dunkaroos goal. Bont goal. Big, handful. 5 there, paying about $5.60.
I like it. Caleb Daniel made some unusual decisions last week. Very unusual decisions, but he got touches. So that's all we're worried
that
about.
kick straight down the throat of, who was that?
Oh, my God.
Jermaine Jones?
This was.
I've never seen. I mean, he very rarely makes errors by foot at the best of times. That was one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen.
Just get him out of the system.
And he
get it out of the system.
didn't even try to smother it on the goal and just knew straight away.
Yeah,
Off the side of the it's
Had a complete Des night, I think. It's fair to say.
Well, he did look like you with a footy in hand.
Pretty much.
Except half your size. Oh boy. Right, let us move on to Friday night at the Adelaide Oval. It is the Adelaide Crows hosting the Gold Coast Suns. Very interesting sort of game, this one coming in, champs. The Crows could have and should have won that game at Sydney. Now, this is not me being biased. Yeah, Crows fan, that's fine. But you're never going to win a game if you're trying to kick 11 goals, 22 points. But the scoring shots outscored Sydney in terms of just sheer shots on goal, which tells me that they should have won had they been kicking straight. And Tex can't do it all, so that goes down to everyone else for being a bag of pus in front of goals. Poor form. As poor as they were, the Swans were elite, and you can't argue that, but more on them later. Look, the Suns, it isn't a classic Suns at the minute, do you know what I mean? Start the season like a house on fire, looking good, smashing on. Yeah, we know that they lost against West Coast, but they did it honourably.
They did well.
They did it honourably. Put the Roos? Who'd they play? It was the Roos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Put them away and didn't just fall over the line, punished them.
Killed them.
Punished them, which is exactly what you wanted to see from them. It'll be interesting now to see where the Crows are at and where the Suns are at in terms of each other, because I don't feel yet we've seen the real Suns and the real Crows at this point of the season. Having said that, I'm thinking the Suns are another step above where they were this time last year when they played the Crows and they won by like 50 points. And I think we see the Suns go forward with that. They should be winning by 1 to 39 points here. I think it just whoever stays on the longest wins, because the Suns had that down patch in the third quarter last week. Adelaide, their middle two quarters were shite, and that's what punished them. So whoever stays switched on wins.
Yep.
Thoughts? Talk to me.
Yeah, I don't really have any disagreements. I am going to tip the Crows,
Yeah.
but as you said, we don't really know who either of these teams are just quite yet. I mean, I think both of them, even though they're 1-on-1, they both played two good games. It's really, both honourable losses. And yeah, I think that they've both got a lot to look forward to the rest of this season. And I actually think this has got a bit of potential for a smoky match of the round. I reckon it could be a little bit of a barn burner. And the Suns don't play Friday nights. This for them is it's a huge.
It's a good Friday.
It's a huge experience.
Yeah.
So it is a good Friday, funnily enough. So yeah, I think this has quite potential to be a bit of a smoky.
Interesting.
Well, I had a look at the line. I was quite surprised that Gold Coast $1.80. I was very, very surprised.
What's Crows playing then?
Just $2 flat. Could be $2.05.
See,
Memory
which one
does
has to
fade
run,
me. But I just see Gold Coast just being a little bit too strong. That's why I was surprised that they were a pick 'em. I just thought Gold Coast would be sitting around that kind of, you know, when you see it, you see the market and you kind of expect them to be sitting about $1.50 kind of dollar. Maybe dollar, like I saw them kind of, so I think $1.80 is a bit of value for the Suns, just because I think back to last year, and I know we beat the Cats, and I know we played relatively, like I know we lost 32 points, but we played relatively well last week.
Yep.
But the Crows of old, it's weighing on me. Do you get what I'm vibing? They're weighing on me.
Yep.
And I just think the Suns could just run over the top. I don't think they're going to smash us, but just the footy they play, I think they're just going to slowly keep chipping, and we're going to lose.
I get what he means there, because you think the Crows have had two very difficult games to start the season, and by that I mean purely that both of them played in 30-degree heat. Not enjoyable, not enjoyable at all to start off your season. And I think for a young side, those big games like that in which they did run hard, and you saw that in the second half of the Swans game, they were running out of puff. And I think, as you said, it's probably going to bear rotten fruit in this game.
Not that they're going to play horribly. I just think Gold Coast are just going to show their class just a little bit. And I think they should. I think this is an important game for Gold Coast to show their class. If they want to make that top 8, they've got to beat Adelaide at home. But I hope the Crom win. I hope the heart's saying, as they say, the mind's telling me no, but the body's telling me yes.
My body.
And I've had to smack.
Luke Brown back in is a big one though. Luke Brown coming back in is very big to match up on Rankin. So
Spank and Rankin.
Yeah, look, as I said, really all I have to add is I think this is going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it.
Walker at one end, King and Rankin at the other. Shootouts. I'm liking shootouts.
McAdams,
Can't sleep on Big Mick.
I love it.
Now, I've got some bets for the fellas. Now, first things first. Now, what I'm hearing is that Lukosius going to drift forward with Sam Day out. Not currently listed at any goal markets at the minute. The second he turns up in a goal market, yoink.
It'll
Go
be
for
at
it.
least $1.80
Go
or
for
something,
it.
won't it? Because
You can bet your bottom dollar they'll have him at $1.05.
You reckon?
Yeah, have you seen the odds that certain betting
Yeah, I was
companies
gonna say.
that we're not going to name?
The Western Bulldogs. Is that what you're going to mention?
Everyone in the team paying $1.05 to have 20 touches.
Yeah.
It is, and Jack McRae was paying $1 and it was $1.005, not even $1.05. It was 0.5 of a cent.
What if he gets injured?
Give the punter some
What if he
value.
goes down?
Tom Rockcliffe.
Oh no, we're
Tom Rockcliffe was paying $1.11 for 25 touches.
saw that.
He's played 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Yeah, we're sports bet. We make funny memes, eh?
Give me a spell.
We're not giving you any value, but do you like memes? Here's a picture of a boat. Fucking get on board. I'm sick of that. Anyways, multi. Jimmy Rowe, goal. He's back home. He missed out last week. He's due. Jimmy Rowe. David Swallow. Literally every game. Kicks at least one goal for the Suns. Loves drifting forward. Is a little salt for the drift forwards. Lockie Murphy, 1 goal. Say no more. Markov, 20 touches. He's done it both weeks running now. Thanks very much. And Lockie Weller, 20 plus touches. Done it both weeks. Thanks very much. $7.25 for that.
nice.
Also, let me just say, Riley O'Brien had a stinker of a start to the year. All right? We know what he can do when he switches on and when he gets around the ground and really starts just playing as that big Gumby-looking midfielder, right? He's paying $4 for 20 touches at the minute, Rob. So if you think this is the game in which he shakes himself out of this reverie that he's in at the minute and turns it on, like the Rob of old,
I absolutely do not.
$4 for 20 touches. It's intriguing.
Nah, it's not. Not against Jared Witts, mate. Witts has been great through 2 weeks. Probably the most consistent ruckman in the league so far. So
I'm just
not for
saying,
me.
I'm just saying, think about it.
Rory Laird, 30 plus, $1.80. Don't mind that. He's started the season very, very well. So I like that. Noah Anderson, 25 plus. I don't mind that either because he looked to have picked up the slack last week after Rowley went down. And I love the over in this game, 168.5.
Yeah, well, Crows have been kicking scores.
Easy.
Crows have been kicking scores and
Easy,
11-22.
Mate, that turns to 22-11. The Crows almost get there on their own. So
Crows have conceded 224 points, I believe, in the last 2 weeks. So there you go.
Absolutely
Beautiful.
love the over.
Beautiful.
Big yoink. All right, first Saturday game here at the G, home of football. It is who else but the Richmond Tigers playing the Sydney Swans. Desmond, tell me something.
I think this is it looks on paper like it's a cut and dry win for the Tigers. It's very similar to last week. I can see it being very, very similar to last week.
But for who? For the Tigers?
Yeah, for the Tigers. For the Tigers, because the Swannies have played good footy. Obviously, they rolled Brisbane and they beat Adelaide. But yeah, the Tigers, they just know how to win. And they know how to get to that point and just sit in cruise control. You know, when you're on the highway and in the car, I drive a very bad car.
What kind of car?
1995, Holden Nova.
What colour is it?
It's exactly the colour you picture in your head. It's that orange. It's that horrible.
that colour.
Yeah, it's
that
that horrible.
colour.
Yes, correct.
Do you have
Horrible.
any air fresheners in it?
Yes, I do.
So it's the colour of bloody stool.
Yes, pretty much.
Basically what comes out of your mouth most weeks.
I can't disagree.
Just giving the big one.
So we're on the
I've had
highway.
enough of this.
We go on the highway.
Yep.
Right? It's going hard to get to that 110. But once it's on 110, we're good. That's the Tigers. So it might seem like it's a bit of a battle, but once they get to that 110, they're just going to beat anyone. It's a very unusual analogy, but it's very, very true.
It was a really abstract art way of saying that the Tigers are just going to outlast and outgrind Sydney here.
Yep.
I mean, I got what he meant.
1 to 39.
It's like
also.
I understand what those words mean individually, but they meant something different when put together.
It was basically, to me, it sounded a lot like Barney Stimson and Yoko Ono. Very abstract, and no one likes it.
You know, like in Indiana Jones, right? When he's trying to get across like a rickety wooden bridge, and it's like, oh, is he going to make it? Oh, I don't think he's going to make it. It's not looking good here. When he opens the mouth, and it's like, are we going to get to the end of this sentence?
But that's how I feel in my head.
Look, I do get what you're saying to some degree, and I think the Tigers are going to struggle a little bit more against the Swans. Swans have looked great through 2 weeks. Their kids are unreal.
Errol Golden, love it.
Errol Golden,
Spence.
Braden Campbell, Logan McDonald.
Chad Warner.
Yeah, they have looked incredible through 2 weeks. So, very bright future for the Swanners. We've been a bit tough on the Swans over
I think so.
the last couple of years on the pod. And,
You say prove us wrong, and they have.
And they absolutely have.
You can only go on the form. Only go
Absolutely.
on the form.
In saying that, doesn't Dusty look great at the moment?
Oh.
Give me this bit of Bruce McAvaney-isms at the moment.
I was going to say, don't be that guy.
But, I mean, he has looked incredible through 2 weeks. Like, back in the midfield, like, pretty much permanently.
True.
He's looking... Yeah, he's looking
I
great.
love it. It's just nice to watch.
Can I give a bit of love to someone else on that Richmond team? All right, I want to give a bit of love to Prestia, to Cochin, and to Edwards, who are they're having really good season.
Workman.
They are workmen, and I know it's only 2 weeks in, but they've had a bloody blinding fortnight, those three, especially. Get none of the plaudits. It's all just a big, dusty suck fest.
Yeah, but
just constantly.
it's hard not to. Dusty's
that's
averaging
Yeah,
2 goals a game and 29 touches, mate.
I know, but that team is bloody good on its own merits. And Dusty is the cherry on top of it. It's a big, juicy ass cherry. It's a big, juicy ass cherry, but you can't take anything away from the week in, week out efforts coming out of that midfield and that team in general, really. But Liam Baker slotted into half back. Is Julian the best 22 anymore with Baker just killing it?
Well, I mean, I would put him in the best 22.
Of course you would, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not dropped a beat, Baker.
To use a Des analogy, right? No one gives a shit about the workers, mate.
Well,
In the Qatar World Cup's coming up, right? Now, there's a lot of workers that have died building these stadiums.
This is getting busy.
But no one's going to care at the end of the day because it'll just be the sheikhs standing up there saying, look at these stadiums we've built. And everyone's like, yeah, great job.
It's a fair point.
They're dusty.
Harsh, but fair.
But the beautiful thing about Richmond is it doesn't matter because they don't care because they're going to get their premiership medal at the end of the year.
True.
And I'm not saying this year, which I think they will, but you understand what I'm saying. They get their premiership medal, they can go home and hug their kids, and guess what?
And someone's getting a medal this year and maybe not
Hug
even
the physio.
getting on the field.
Yeah,
Don't you love that?
probably. Well, that's the story. That's
Absolutely.
the
Good
way
on.
So
that's the way the cookie
Yeah,
crumbles.
look, quick, any bets?
Any bet? Well, yeah. Look, I've been looking through this. Now, Buddy, everyone's giving him the big suck. Again, it's another Buddy suck fest, and I'm just over it. And it's been replicated in the markets. He's paying like $1.20 to kick 3 goals, something like that. Let's see him kick 3 goals against Richmond. You're not playing the Crows anymore. No. Let's see you actually play a genuine team. We'll see what happens there. Multi. Didn't like a lot of this. Didn't like a lot. I got some weird stuff for you. Got 3-legger. Prestia 25 touches. Fine. So far, so good. Jake Arts.
love it.
Jake Arts
Love
to
it
kick
already.
1 goal. Fine. Samuel Wicks for Sydney to kick a goal. He had I think he had 2 in the first game. And he might have had another 2 last week.
He definitely only had 1 this week, just gone.
Okay, sorry. So he had 2 in the first game, paying $1.72.
I did look at that, but then it put me off because it's Richmond.
I know.
I
know. But it was Brisbane week 1.
I've gone Jake Lloyd 30 plus. He hasn't had 30 the last 2 weeks, but I think he's
Due?
He's just about due.
He's
And
due.
Richmond just love to let teams just chip around the back line because they know that when they bomb the ball up the line, it's all over for them. So
Bombardment.
yeah, exactly.
Bombardment.
Absolutely.
Game over.
So they are quite happy to just let teams chip around. Callum Mills 25 plus.
Oh, yeah.
$1.72. He's been
Is it really?
Yep,
Ooh.
been very good in the midfield so far. And as always, favourite of the pod, Shea Bolton, anytime goal, $1.45. Every single week he just does the job.
Bless up.
He's an absolute king. Good on you, Shea.
I love Shea Bolton. I do love Shea Bolton.
I just bumped my flower.
Oh,
It's a nice flower.
the Freo flower.
It's a Freo flower. It's purple.
Freo Dokas.
Big
Big Doka season.
Well, that was some nonsense. And if you haven't had your fill of that yet, it's Desmond Van Buss's 60-second scramble. Let's do it.
Okay, I've been very, very excited for this. I've actually had to speak these into my iPhone because, as if you didn't know, I have an iPhone now, not an Oppo. So let's get ready to rumble. 3, 2, 1, bang. Dan, out of the 2 premiership favourites, Richmond and Port, which player would have the most chafing incidents?
Willem Drew, big thick thighs.
What? Once? No.
Oh no, Willem Drew.
He is a sensible man. He did not even crack a smile
Nah.
then. All right,
And
Rich.
he also looks like the kind of wears some pretty rotten jocks as well.
Fruit of the loom.
Yeah.
He'd be on there.
Some real
The Haynes.
some real scratchy ones.
Yeah, the Haynes ones.
Nasty,
Mate, a
nasty.
Hessian. Go on.
All right, Rich. Which Carlton player has the worst Snapchat name and what is it?
It'd be Zach Fisher, and it'd be something like "smack my fish up." You know what I mean? It'd be something like that. That's You can see it. You
Dan.
can see it. There's this one. Got him eventually. Got him.
Dan, which Gold Coast Sun player knows their way around a shovel?
Around a shovel. Jiminy Jellicas. Sam Collins. He looks like a tradesman at the moment. He's got a nice thick moustache going on. He'd look good shirtless in a pair of jean shorts. So yeah, definitely Sam Collins.
All right, Richie. There's been some rumours.
Is there?
Have you heard the rumours about an AFL player dressing up as Little Red Riding Hood and asking a teammate who wants to be the big bad wolf?
You have got to be joking.
I'm gonna die. What is there a question here? Have I heard that? No, is my answer to you.
If you were to hear that rumour, who would it be?
This is bordering on libel. This is bordering on libel.
Okay, moving on. There's another rumour, though, and it's tickle culture is back. What Victorian team, Dan, has the worst culprit with description?
When will this die? This tickle culture thing
He loves
is
it.
run
This is
rampant.
a fetish. This is a fetish for him.
So ask it again.
It's back.
Which club is
A
rampant?
Victorian. It's in Victoria. It's in Melbourne. It's like COVID, except it's tickling. Which Victorian club with description?
I actually hate this. I
I reckon Melbourne likes a bit of tickle culture.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I was thinking the Dogs.
Yeah. No,
That's what gets them up and about before a game.
Because I can just imagine big Clary Oliver with big red head.
And
going like
Maxie Gorn would love it as well.
That's what I love. All right, there is one final question. It's a bit of word association for
Christ,
Rich.
get me out.
All right, so I've got 3 words.
Yeah,
You've got to
good.
name a player for these 3 words/phrases.
All right, I'll just shoot from the hip.
Number 1, pomegranate.
Pomegranate.
He was telling me about these off air, and I knew you'd struggle. Even your big brain.
No. Willem Drew.
All right, Harry Potter.
I wanted to say Matt Rao for both of them, and I did. I was like, I can't say Matt Rao for both, but he's genuinely a Harry Potter looking pomegranate.
Ben Ainsworth would look good in a pair of Harry Potter specs.
Brainsworth.
Yeah.
Big Brainsworth.
Beautiful. All right, final one, potpourri.
Do you mean potpourri?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Potpourri.
Potpourri, yeah.
Potpourri.
Oh, God.
Potpourri.
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 Gonk.
Potpourri.
Mitch Robinson, because you look at his clothes and it's a potpourri of nonsense, and he probably smells like he's come from Port Pirie. So Mitch Robinson for mine.
Beautiful.
I
Thank
love
you
Mitch
very
Robinson.
much. That's our scramble.
Comfortably the worst one you've ever done.
This is we are genuinely falling apart here. I'm going to need to take you and sit you down after this show, I'd tell you. Hall Riggedy Righty.
Let's crack through these. Come on.
Saturday night.
We're gonna get moving.
Saturday afternoon. Essendon Bombers, St Kilda Saints. At Marvel, let me punch this one out. St Kilda, 1-39 for mine. Essendon are an absolute rabble. No Shield, no Caldwell, no Draper now as well. No Ruckman at all because Andrew Phillips is still injured. Damn.
They're going to be giving a debut to Nick Bryan. Oh, look, I actually...
Give debuts who you want. Bottom 2, I don't care.
I genuinely feel bad for them.
Yeah.
They have been absolutely... 1 week, and they've been ravaged. They didn't look good anyway, and now they've got nothing to turn to.
They're taken to Pound Town.
You would have to be expecting Zach Merritt to average 45 touches a week from here on out, because no one else is getting their hands on the
No
pill.
McGrath, yeah.
No. Who I'm going to be watching for him, though, Darcy Parish.
Yeah, time to
Is
stand up.
absolutely now time to stand up. We've heard all the excuses. He doesn't play enough midfield minutes, this, that, the other. Show us that you're just not shit at football and that you can actually play. Now's the time to stand up.
He's been on this something like 7 years.
Yep.
Can't just. I don't know. I remember when he was like the hype,
Yeah.
young prospect,
Yep.
and I still like.
I'm waiting.
I hear him, and I still feel like
Yep.
that's a thing, but it's just I know it's not.
Nothing's
if that makes
coming of it.
any sense at all.
No,
And
I
that's
get where
why
you're
I
coming
think
from.
Saints 40 plus. I've got them 40 plus.
Interesting.
Because just Saints played real well last week and just.
Well, they didn't. They played like crap against Melbourne. But this is the perfect game.
like-
This is the perfect game for them. Bounce back.
Gets you
Real,
back in.
just-
Yep.
I just think real well considering like they've had a tough time in the office. Like, they've had a real rough run,
Yeah.
rough run inside, like in the room. So I reckon 40 plus.
And the hits start coming and they don't stop coming is what I'm
Brad
thinking.
Crouch getting a Guernsey this week. Debut straight away.
This is the game you'd put him in. Be soft oppo. Soft oppo, just like Buddy Franklin last week, ease him into it. I don't know where he fits into the midfield rotation, though. Gresham's been elite.
Yep.
I don't want to sound like Cooper Greg, but Gresham's been elite.
Yep.
Let's be real.
He's called it.
Steele and Billings, also, I don't want to sound like Greg, but he's been elite. Both of them.
When they're elite, you're allowed to give them credit. I know it feels wrong, but you are allowed to. Quick, I want to get this knocked out.
Yep, true.
Best bet, Parish 20 plus.
Yep, like it.
Because if he's going to do it, now's the time. Jack Steele 25 plus, still paying $1.57. That's just rude,
Jack
really.
Steele,
Yep, that's rude.
he had 20. He didn't have that much last week, did he?
Hasn't needed to.
It's Essendon.
Yeah,
Play on.
He'll absolutely get
Play on.
25 plus. And Jack Higgins' first half goal, purely because of the value, $1.91.
Oh, like.
He was stinky against Melbourne, so I expect to bounce back. He's a good player.
And when they're smashing that team, he'll love that. He looks like a bully.
I'm with you on all of that. I'm liking Snelling, 1 goal. Higgins, 1 goal. Hind, 20 plus touches.
What a revelation.
It's hey, of all the things that's gone bad right now for the Dons, Nick Hind is not. They pick up.
Again, well,
And he'll have a point to prove against the Saints for getting rid of him.
and again, I will just throw it in quickly. Like against Port, he was one of the very few that looked solid. Like he actually had a good game. Run off halfback, looked really good. Not afraid to take the game on. It's just the same about the rest of the team.
It is indeed. So I'm saying, as I said, Snelling 1 goal, Higgins 1 goal, Nick Hines 20 touches, Gresham 25, McGrath 25. That is paying $5 for all of that. For all of that.
Not bad.
Not bad. Good sauce. All right, Saturday night game, West Coast Eagles versus Port Adelaide. Power at Optus Stadium in Perth. Eagles going back home. Can I just say, the Eagles have looked as sluggish and as crap as we've seen them in a long period of time.
Yeah.
Disinterested. Gaff, the tap's been turned off. He's not getting his cheap little sloot touches out the back. He's not liking it. He's not working for his feed. He's not working for his beers in the evening, Desmond. And he's going home thirsty. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Nick Nat said he today, Gaff knows his value to us in other ways at the moment. His touches will
What does that mean?
No, they won't. And what good is it?
value?
Remember that I sent to you on the weekend? I sent you and the boys.
Yeah, go on. Keep talking.
He'd run 11 kilometres at the time during the game. This is the third quarter. Run 11 kilometres, which is elite.
Yes, it is. Good running.
For 9 touches.
Oh,
Not even 1 touch per kilometre. That's disgraceful.
Now, that quote was...
Look, and I said to you guys, like Captain Morgan asked us,
Yeah.
what's happened to Gaff? Where's he gone? The fact is, there's no congestion, so there's no slut touches, which is what he prides himself on. They've put him in the middle. He can't tackle because he's soft as pig shit. And that's just how it is. I don't care.
Look, he's had... Last game, as you said he's soft as poos. And Nick Nat said, we know his value in other ways. 16 touches from Gaff when he should be getting 30 week in, week out. 2 tackles. 2 tackles. 11 kicks, which is something, but 2 tackles. Where's the defensive pressure? He's running. Where is he running? Where is he running?
I didn't rate him anyway. I didn't rate him
Where
when
are
he
you
was
running,
getting 30.
Andrew?
Most players who get low possession games, they've got to add value in other ways, like defensive pressure. Like we saw Willem Drew the other week against who'd they play first? North Melbourne.
Yes,
only had about 17 touches, 11 tackles.
11 tackles.
If you're not getting the touches, and you don't have to get 11, but I'm just saying if you're not getting the touches, you've got to get the hugs.
Put the effort in.
And Gaff's getting neither.
Just those, what do they call it? Those 1%ers. Anything. Doesn't even have to be tackles.
None
just
of them.
And as you said, I think that's sort of indicative of the whole squad. In saying that, I don't think they played poorly against the Dogs. I actually think they were, sort of borderline able to win that game. And they probably missed a few opportunities that they should have taken. I'm still going to need to see more to be a believer. But
because at the minute it looks like Sheed and Kelly and Duggan to an extent are doing all the work in the middle. It looks like Hearn is doing all the work in the back line. And outside of that, in the forward line, you've got the same old heads of Kennedy doing everything and Oscar Allen running around, doing a bit here, doing a bit there. Need to see more. Need to see more. And look, let's put West Coast to the side. I want to hear none more of that chat. Forget that. Port Adelaide. Let's talk about it. Butters, Wines, and Houston. If you'd have said to me 12 months ago that those three are going to be leading the charge for Port Adelaide this year, I'd been like, I don't know about that one, Chief. But leading lights for Port at the minute, those three. They're unbelievable.
Wines has always been around the mark. He just, last few years, he's been struggling with injuries and all that off-field stuff. But he's, certainly coming through pretty strong at the moment. And Zach Butters, freak.
Butters has him.
The emergence.
Yeah.
The only thing with Zach Butters, it was against Essendon. So now you got a chance to do it against a good team. I think he will.
The tail's up.
But show us, give us a bit more. And so far, Port's done nothing to dissuade me from thinking they're going to be there September.
They haven't, but I still come back, and maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but look, in the last, 5-6 weeks, they've played the Crows twice. They've played Essendon. They've played North. Okay? These are not world-beating teams. They did what was required of them, and they should be sitting top. If Richmond was given that run, they'd be sitting top too.
I agree.
Now, we're now going to see Port go, and it's a tough assignment in the West against West Coast, who, they're still dangerous. Do you know what I mean? They're hobbled a bit, but they're dangerous. This will be a much better test for Port. I still think they're getting it done. I'm tipping them 1-39. Big question mark, though, over Charlie Dixon. I feel like he's a bit of a downhill skier at the minute. Loves beating up on a simplistic little back line. I want to see what he does over in the West.
I think we've known that all along about Dixon anyway. I feel like it's a narrative he likes to write, but until Port show me that they're not a team that can get it done against all sides, I'm going to back them in every time. 1-39. They have a good record in Perth as well. They have a good record in Perth. I will, because I always remember being disappointed when they go over there and sneak a win that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But nah, Port 1-39. All your points are spot on about both sides. West Coast have been underwhelming in parts. They've shown some good footy, but real underwhelming in parts. And it's probably the worst West Coast in my generation of footy. I think it's a fair call. I'm still a spring chickens, but in my I remember I think 2015 West Coast made that granny that year. I believe they did against. They made it one year against Hawthorn. They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they did play one year. So they've been playing great footy for years and years, and even before that, they were always around the mark. And this is like the worst footy I've ever seen them play. Besides their kind of rough patch last year, but I don't know if this patch could be around for the time being. It might not be a phase because of the hub. So Port 1-39.
Do you have any bets for us?
Unfortunately, no.
No,
Des
that's
doesn't
all
have the bets.
He was too busy getting Christmas decorations sorted out.
No,
mate.
see,
Leave the man
he's
alone.
been sensible the last 5 minutes. I like this side of Des. It's a sensible. There's
no stocking. I've been stocking up the stocking. If I have a look in here, there's no bets. No bet. No bet.
I tell you. Just like Carlton in 2025.
Yeah.
No bets.
Bets for me.
Hit me.
Jamie Cripps anytime goal, $1.40. Like that. There's not much value in the goals market, so I went
It's really
straight
shite.
off that.
Yeah.
Carl Amon 20 plus.
Yeah.
$2.25. I think that's pretty good value. And DBJ 20 plus $1.57. We saw against the Eagles a few weeks ago, Gold Coast defenders absolutely stat up because they're quite happy to just chip the ball around the expanses of Optus. So I expect DBJ to get on the end of a couple of those.
He hasn't had that so far this year, but your logic stacks up.
He has not.
Well, he's played
Your
against
logic stacks up.
Essendon and North Melbourne. Hasn't been going
Well,
down.
Your logic stacks up
against,
too.
Against the Eagles Optus a few weeks ago, 3 Gold Coast players took 14 marks.
That tells you what you need to know.
You would think that a couple of the Port boys are going to be getting on the end of the same thing, and I expect the game style to be exactly the same because West Coast like to play that chip around the back, sort of bomb it up the line. Port will do the same thing. They both set up well defensively, so I like that as value.
I'm with you on that one. Little multi here. Mitch Georgiades, 1 goal. He had 4 last week. Lock him in. Motlop, big boy. Big bakery Motlop. Put him down for a goal as well. He's in arguably his best start to a season ever. He's looking elite the last month. Unbelievable.
There really is not much to argue.
You can't argue. It's credit where it's due. Georgiades 1 goal. Motlop 1 goal. Fantasia 2 goals. Tim Kelly, Slim Jim Tim, 25 touches, paying about $4.50 that little lot.
Love it.
Yes.
Orazio's been a lot better than I thought.
I'm stunned.
A lot better.
I'm stunned at that.
I didn't expect much from Orazio. I'm not going to lie. And I like Orazio purely for, just think about who I am and think about Orazio Fantasia. Of course I'm going to like that and buy into the hype. But so I'm very, very impressed. And I like that.
Good.
Chuck a few bones on it. Not that any of this is financial advice, as we always say. Take these bets at your own risk. Do what you want. Don't add us. Oh, wow. First Sunday game. Fellas, we're almost there. It is the Carlton Blues versus the Fremantle Dockers at Marvel Stadium. Sensible Dan, open this one up for us like a tin of beans, mate. What are you looking at?
Are any of us at this table surprised that Carlton are 0-2?
No.
No ticker.
We did.
No ticker, no heart.
Say
Again,
it every year.
every single year. And look,
It's the team of liars.
I am
Liars.
I'm not David King's biggest fan. No one in this room is.
No.
This earlier on this week, he said he's got Teague fatigue.
Teague fatigue?
He's had enough of listening to David Teague's press conferences where he said, "Oh, we got to be more ruthless. We got to do this." Stop talking about it and start doing it.
Everyone was saying this about Brendan Bolton. You remember this? Everyone was ripping into Bolton saying we've got fatigue from Bolton. Keep talking about the green shoots. Teague, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that is what we're seeing, isn't it? Isn't it sad?
But he was never going to die a hero.
No.
If he'd have quit after like one season, then
if you die a hero, when they were 0-5 and then they beat the Bulldogs to be 1-5?
Yep, done.
Yeah.
Die a hero. Bang. I'm finished.
It's just not been good enough. And even Zach Williams came in on the weekend. You think he'd have a bit of shit about him?
Dismal.
Disgraceful.
Yep.
They were horrible.
Big money recruit and just did absolute. And look, I'm not saying it's not all on David Teague.
Or even with Zach Williams.
No, but it's just a systemic problem at that club. There's way too many issues going on. Kane Corns talked about dropping a bunch of those boys today. I know we sort of had a bit of a chat about some of them agreeing, some of them not agreeing. Even that, what's it going to do? If the kids aren't beating the door down to get into the team, you can't just put them in because they're kids.
No.
That you got to earn it.
True.
Take the spots off guys like Ed Curnow and Mark Murphy, and if they can't, well, they're not good enough to play at AFL level.
It's terrible that Cade Simpson lasted as long as he did because he should have been pushed out by younger blokes a long time ago through either disinterest, not trying, or injury or bad luck. Couldn't knock him off the perch. Credit to Cade because I loved watching him for a long period of time, but he should have been pushed out.
Yep. But
Sad.
if there's no one there to do it,
No.
what are you going to do?
Whereas Freo, the absolute opposite. The kids are plucky. They're playing with a lot of passion and guts. They're trying. They're trying every week. And even if they're going down, you couldn't sit there as a Freo fan and be like, oh, look at these dead shits not putting in the effort. They're doing their best. They are doing their best, Des.
Yep.
And that's all you ask for.
No, I love it. I've got to back in Carlton to beat the Dockers here. I
going
really
Carlton.
don't want to. I really, really don't want to. And you know what? I'd love to be proved wrong here. Do you know when you sometimes make a pick with your brain and then you just want to be wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Similar to me with Gold Coast and the Crows this round.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be wrong here. I want the Dockers to play like they did against the Giants because, hey, what's it? So Carlton could come out and play like the Giants did last week.
Mm-hmm.
They could. They really could. And then Dockers run over the top. So there is a path to victory.
Yep.
Another week of the media pooing
But
on.
Carlton have got to win this. Carlton have got to win.
They don't got to do anything, mate.
I
They're
feel
Carlton.
like they just have to.
Panic button time.
But their list is actually, it's a genuine list. Like, it's a good list.
It is a good list.
And they showed they could play good footy against Richmond last week, round one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sam Walsh is playing good footy. God, still playing good footy. And
Lone hand.
Oh, my God. He has moments where I'm just like, he is very nice to watch. He's climbing up the ranks of Dez's favourites.
You can even see it. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But
Go,
you can
go.
see it with Sam Walsh. He's getting in predicaments where he's trying to do too much and getting caught holding the ball because there's no one else moving. There's no one. He's just playing a lone hand.
Yeah,
and
he's a man on his own.
He will end up like Patrick Cripps.
Yep.
He's going to end up in exactly the same position where Cripps' body's let him down. He's 26 years old.
Die a hero. Or live long enough to
hate
see
it.
yourself become a villain.
If things don't change in the next 2-3 years, Sam Walsh has got to go. Got to go.
He won't. He's
I
not
know
the
he
sort of bloke
won't,
that won't.
but,
You mentioned about Cripps just beforehand. Am I the only one that heard this little peep about apparently he's got some mystery ailment at the minute that's requiring him to get mystery injections to a certain body part just to keep him going, just to keep him out there? Direct quote: If it was pre-season, he'd be ruled out for round one.
Why is he so banged up? It's round 2.
Well, poor pre-season. Didn't have the body right in pre-season, did he?
Carlton's just a rabble. That's why I'm tipping the Dockers 1-39.
Look, they're a team of liars, but I'm still tipping Carlton to win this week. And I know that goes against everything that I just said, but what I'm thinking is Freo away from home, no Fife, could be the difference.
Fife,
Genuinely could be the difference.
Well, Fife basically played up forward the whole game on the weekend. I don't think they need him as much as they used to. Look,
He's a leader.
I'm not saying they...
Dual Brownlow medalist.
Obviously, he's a great player.
I know what you're saying. I know
Obviously,
exactly
he's a
what
great
you're
player,
saying.
but they didn't need him to get up 30 points on GWS last week. I don't think they're going to need him this week. I think those kids in the midfield are more than ready to shoulder the load.
I'll be watching this game and I will be Team Dockers. I'll be telling you.
Brayshaw and Chera looked elite.
Unreal.
Brayshaw's
They were very
arrived.
good.
Yep.
Brayshaw has arrived. I know what you're
And
saying.
really, Sarong hasn't done anything this year.
Doesn't need to.
Like, he's been good, but without being outstanding.
Hasn't needed to.
Dockers have got the Waffle team playing for them, and they showed so much ticker. I'm still all in. I'm back all in again.
Hope they do.
I was off them after round 1, and I'm back in.
I've got to go the Blues.
Frederick.
Oh,
Unreal.
Mate.
So clean by foot. He looked amazing. They're going to get Michael
Monero.
Walters back as well.
the Holden
Great.
Monero.
I'm in.
I'm still on Carlton, I'm sorry. But multi-wise.
I'm very excited now.
Talk to me about Michael Gibbons' 1 goal. Sam Switkowski 1 goal.
Hold up. Earlier today, you said Michael Gibbons got to go.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Go back in the chat. No, I didn't.
You said Michael Gibbons trash.
I did not say Gibbons trash. Did you check the chat whilst
Let me
I'm
get
doing
it
my
up.
multi? Michael Gibbons 1 goal. Sam Switkowski 1 goal. Zach Williams 1 goal. I think he repays the faith this week. Walsh 25. That's easy. And Williams 20 plus. Again, I think he repays the faith. That's about $5.80.
I've got Williams anytime goal as well. Sean Darcy anytime goal, $2. He posted up forward pretty much the whole game last week, and I expect them to do. I think that two ruck roll works well for Freo, especially without Tab and it's not without Tab, sorry, without Rory Lobb. They got to have another big target in the forward line. Got Walsh 30 plus. Because I think he's gonna. There's gonna be a lot of possessions in this game, and Chera 25 plus.
Like that a lot. What are they paying? Do you know?
Yeah, I can tell you. Well, there's his.
You
Tell
go
me.
first.
So
tell me.
Zach Williams anytime goal $1.67, Sean Darcy $2, Sam Walsh $1.83, Chera $1.53.
Big stonk monies.
Not bad. Okay.
Who
just
said
to
what?
finish this, I actually quite like those, by the way.
They're
We'll-
bloody
we'll
good,
add to
Dan. I like that. I'm a big
Okay,
fan.
so I've sent the photo in that of Fox Footy on 9 or whatever they call it.
Rip the Band-Aid
whatever
off.
it is.
Come on.
Kane Corns has stated all these players listed as we mentioned. I said Gibbons has been quite handy from memory, which is from memory because really how much am I analysing Carlton games? Not too much, to be honest. Actually, they have been on Friday and Thursday night, so I had been watching them
I
a
like
fair
him.
bit.
I like Gibbo.
That's what I said. And then Richie has commented and said, better than bets.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's all he said.
I stand by that.
At this point in his career, yeah, absolutely.
That's all he said.
Was that as far as it went?
That's as far as it went on
There
him.
you go. There you go.
I'll eat crow.
Yeah,
I love Gibbo.
He's good. I like him very much.
I'm in on him.
I like him better than Betts.
You eat crom and
Not
let
as
us
a
go.
person.
Let us go to the. Oh, harsh. Let us go to the Sunday afternoon game at Manuka Oval in Canberra, where the GWS Giants are taking on the Melbourne Demons. Boys, I have a question for you. Now, I bought these in America. All right, they're a bit old now, a bit tattered. They're Toms. That's a Tom. What is a Tom, Desmond?
A Tom is a shoe.
It is a shoe. I'm gonna one of these days. One of these days. Melbourne are my shoe-in of the week. Last week's was the Suns got up. I'm gonna go 2 from 2. Melbourne's getting this done very, very easily. I feel the Giants. They've lost their soul. They've lost their way. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing.
40 plus.
I'm really torn. It's going to be like, it's going to be like 37-38 / 42-43. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be somewhere in there, somewhere gross. There you go. Go the middle. There you go. Melbourne, 21-40. Mm-hmm. That'll be a band.
Perfect.
That'll be a band in there. And look, Giants, they're mentally cooked. I think their season's done. I know it's hella early to make that comment.
It's not an unjust call, though.
But I think that they're rotting from the head, to be honest with you. I think it starts with the coach. I think it starts with the leadership team. And not to say that there's anything wrong with any of those blokes in the leadership team or Leon Cameron as a coach. But I think just like Brenton Sanderson experienced at the Crows, you can be at a place for too long. And I think that's where it's at with Leon right now.
So you agree with what I said last week?
In not as stringent terms, but I think Cameron's been there too long, and I think you need
tell
to
her how it
clean
is,
out.
mate. Look, Leon Cameron, no good. As I said last week, playing like for example, Stephen Canelio last week, one of your best midfielders. What did he do? Does anyone know what he did in round one?
Yeah, about 25 in round one.
He played as a tagger.
Did he?
Why on earth are you tagging with Stephen Canelio? Someone should be tagging him. Let him play his game of football. Now, moving on to Stephen Canelio, as I said last week, great footy player, not a leader.
Well,
so someone needs to drag this footy club up for the bootstraps.
That's not a bad thing. It's not
No,
a bad call
I'm
to
not-
make
I'm
about
not-
someone either.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. Not everyone is cut out to be a leader, but it's just not the right person for this rebuild job.
who do you pick to be captain of that team?
Great question.
Toby?
Well, maybe, but I mean,
Tobias?
He's a better leader than Canelio.
Tobias!
Yeah, but again, like
I agree with that.
It is a tough one because I don't really think there's a lot of people in that team who are like out and out leaders. Maybe Taranto, but it's hard to know without being on the inside of the walls. I'm only saying it's purely timing. That making their mark show, you can see what they're like on the interior. Stephen Canelio is just not inspiring.
No chirp.
Nah.
No chirp.
Not enough for mine. Demons going to get this done easy. They've looked pretty good in the first 2 weeks. I still don't believe they're a great footy team, but they've looked good. And I expect them to go 3-0, so good on them.
I don't believe the hype, Des. Before you jump in, let me just say, when you're Melbourne and you're 2-0, but then you're a Melbourne 2-0 that beat Freo, okay, round one, who were playing away from Perth, and a tired and injured St Kilda who had just come back from a wet slog. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Melbourne to win, and they'll go 3-0, but they're not as good as 3-0 suggests. Thoughts?
My big call, and it's not really a big call, is I may not pick Giants for the rest of the year, even against North Melbourne.
Holy doly.
Mammoth call.
Far out, mate.
I may not pick him against North Melbourne because you know what? North Melbourne have shown us, at least when they lost to Port, they showed a little bit of cojones.
Bit of chutzpah.
Bit of cojones.
That's a word.
Whereas, you know what? Giants, I haven't seen it. Yeah. I just have not seen a thing, and that's just like, do you know what? I'm going to be willing to bet North Melbourne at underdog odds over a Giants team, and obviously they're not playing North Melbourne, so it's a different day. But like, I will not pick the Giants for the rest of the year.
Yeah, they're cooked. They're mentally, they look done.
From the top
it's
down.
exactly what I thought. And I've made some stupid calls this year that
I'm not hearing that.
and I'm happy to do that because the
Never
big
once,
calls,
mate.
the big calls do come off some of the time.
I can't remember how you went.
Sometimes they may be good, sometimes they may be shit, as you see in that video that I've
Big
laughed at.
Gennaro, my guy. couple of quick bets because I want to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Track 25 plus $1.45 easy.
I had that.
As you like. Clayton Oliver 35 plus $1.80. He's averaging 36 on the season. I expect he's just going to feast.
Wow.
here.
Who's going to stop him?
Wow.
Not Canelio. He's not tagging him.
No way. And Bobby Hill, anytime goal, $1.62. He's looked good in the first couple of weeks. Probably one of the only ones apart from Matty Flynn, who's also looked pretty reasonable. Bobby Hill was chipping up for a goal.
I had Bob Hill last week. He's a Perth boy, and I thought he'd get it done at home. He let me down. Means he's due. back home means he's due.
He had opportunities. I don't know if you saw
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And he just couldn't take them.
He's
So
Mountain
It was
Dew.
that kind of day.
he's due.
Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Crab juice.
Connor Minute and Jew.
Callum Ward, 20 plus touches for mine. Taranto, 25. Petraka, 25. Petraka, a goal. And Pickett, a goal. Loving the hype on Pickett this week, but I still think he's a bit of a sideshow at the minute. He's not your key forward. He gets bums on seats.
Doesn't need to be key forward. He just does his bits.
He gets bums on seats. I don't think he's the answer to that forward line. But all of them together, yoink, $7.40.
Boom.
$7.40.
It's not bad.
Lick that.
What is the last game of the round, Ricardo?
I am glad that you asked. It is the Easter Monday extravaganza at the G between... It's the bad boy Mandem down at the Geelong Cats and the Hawthorn Hawks, who are in the Baby Hawks in rebuild mode. Desmond Van Bast, talk to me, mate. Talk to me. What do you like here?
Cats should probably be 0-2. They shouldn't probably. They should be 0-2.
Yeah, well,
They should be. They should be if we call it. But you can't put yourself in that situation if you're Brisbane. You got to make sure you strike. But my memories of like this Easter Monday clash, and it could be wrong, but I always remember Hawthorn doing me wrong here. I'd always tip Geelong, and then Hawthorn would win. I could be completely wrong. I'm writing off memory, and but I'm not tipping Hawthorn. I would love to, and they didn't do too bad against Richmond. They showed a bit of spirit, which is always nice, more than I expected. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling, but I've got to go Geelong 1-39 just to be smart, just to be safe. I do make outrageous calls, but this is like. Cats have got to win this. They have to win this, and I feel like they have to look good. This can't be another close game because Hawthorn aren't making the 8 this year. Let's be real.
To further your point, really, both of these teams should be 0-2 because the Bombers shouldn't have let this game slip against Hawthorn in round 1.
Way.
So they both should be coming in 0-2 here. And normally, this game on the calendar is the one that you circle as like being an absolute blockbuster. I mean, there was a couple of years ago, it finished up 122, 123 or something.
2016, 17.
Something ridiculous. Like it's always been a highlight. I couldn't be any less excited, really, going into this game. I don't think either of them are playing a particularly enticing brand of footy right now. In saying that, it could still turn out to be a good game, and Geelong do need to get back on the bandwagon and quickly. Like I said, I've just not been particularly impressed with either of the teams so far.
He's not feeling it.
In saying that, though, Titch.
Oh.
Again. Now, you gave me crap all off-season.
Look,
mate.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
He's come in like a house on fire, averaging 38 touches through 2 games. That's unreal. It's with no preseason, no contact, nothing. Just walks in, thank your mother for the rabbits. Makes it look easy. I'm really looking forward in this game, not to the whole game, to seeing what the Hawthorn boys give Isaac Smith.
That's exactly why I'm looking forward to this game.
The trader. He's jumped codes, gone Crips to blood, and the
Crips to blood.
And the boys will want blood. They will want blood. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. In terms of that, I'm just going to give a quick little best bets. Isaac Smith, anytime goal, $1.36, easy as. I think he's going to get up against his old team. He'll cop it, but I think he'll get up. Blake Hardwick, 20 plus. Looked unreal in the first 2 games. Never been a stat pig, but all of a sudden decides he cannot get enough of the...
You saw Guthrie do it
in
his 27th year and thought, you know what,
cannot get enough of the pill at the moment. And Tyler Brockman, anytime goal, $1.40. He's been great through 2 weeks. Been one of the most consistent for the Hawks, so I'll get around him again.
For them.
Very good pickup out of nowhere. From the top rope.
Pick 36 or something?
Keep going, about 45-ish, something like that. Yeah.
And he's looked good, fit right into the system.
Yeah, he has. Downey, not to be seen. We're all about Kent Brockman here. Yeah, Channel 6 News. Look, it's the angry boys at Geelong, and I'm loving the niggle and the agitation that's clearly... There is something going on at that club. There is something going on at that club, and they are niggly. They are out of sorts, the Cats. There's something really nasty lurking under the waters. Lachie Neale knows. Chris Scott didn't want to hear about it. Chris Scott, just quietly, you are neither the Billy Big Bollocks, neither you are the clever... I'm 2 steps ahead of everyone, elder statesman of the league than what you think you are. Just settle down. Stop rubbing the Bondi Sands into the head, right? Settle it on down. Get back in the box, boy.
Get rid of the little head wobblers Spud Frawley used to say.
It is the head wobble.
Yeah.
I'm cutting in. Do you know who he reminds me of? And I don't know if you're a big South Park fan, Rich, but I know you'll appreciate it. You know when the midget comes in and Cartman laughs every time?
Yes.
That's him.
Basically, yes.
Tell me that's not him. When the midget comes in and he's all like this.
Yeah, the head wobbler.
He's coming in and all Cartman can do is just laugh.
Yeah.
He just laughs, and that's how I'm getting with him.
Now that you mention it, I agree. I think there is something bubbling under
I'm
the surface
telling you,
at the
there's something
Cattery.
nasty at the Cattery.
Exactly the same thing with Leon Cameron. You can be in the same place for too long. Watch this space, Cats.
Yeah,
fans.
I'm interested in the Cats. I might have to have a few words. The Hawks held the Tigers last week and did better than we expected, but they weren't up to the level. The Tigers got away from it, and that looked it. I'm expecting similar here because the Cats list is just too good, and their structures in terms of those on ball, those down back, and those forward line units individually know what they're doing enough that whatever else is going on, they will play the game that they've been just hammered into them. So I think we'll see the same thing again here. Having said that, for the Hawks, I'm really loving the young kids. You got Kent Brockman, as we mentioned, Chunkoth Jaff, killing us off of the halfback at the minute. The man has evolved, and I'm loving that. Kazichki's been great. You got Dan Howe in the forward line out of nowhere. These kids are really, really good, and I'm loving this. But look, Cats getting it done 1-39 for mine, and watch Isaac Smith have a big old game. You must have been looking over my shoulder when I was writing at my multi. I've got Smith a goal, Smith 20 touches, Hardwick 20 touches. I've also got Tommy Stewart and Atkins to have 20 touches each, and Dan Moore to kick a goal, and that's paying $14 all that.
$14 dues.
It's Dylan Moore. Put some respect on these guys'
I've been looking
names,
at you.
man.
I've been looking at
Good
you.
grief.
I've been looking at you. You're a Dan. I'm going to start calling you Sensible Dylan from now on just to balance it out.
Big Bob. Yeah, like him.
Apologies to Dill. That's $14 though. Take that.
Like him. Like it a lot.
Take that.
Can't hate that. Cannot hate that.
Oh, and that brings us to the end of what has been an absolutely ramshackle dumpster fire of a round 3, but it wouldn't be complete without Safety Steve's safety bet.
Safety Steve's safety bet.
It is indeed. Now, it is being sponsored this year, as we mentioned last week, by Professor Morgan's inch issuing and vitamin restoring tablets for the man who nearly has it all. He is going to send me some product. I'm still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on that product to occur. And apparently there's been some shipping issues with China. These pills are not, of course, made from your usual sort of backyard materials. There's probably some elephant horn powder in there or something. But in any case...
Rhino tusk, there's definitely some...
How else are you going to get the inches in?
Yeah.
Get a bit of tusk up.
Goat cock.
Tell us, Jace.
Yes. It's pangolin nails. And this week's Steve safety bet. Now, just to remind you, he put $500 on round 1. And he put that on Taranto to have 25. And then he put it on Taranto to have 20 last week. There's now $695.40 sitting in the kitty that's rolling on. And this week's is Kane Lambert at the Richmond Tigers to have 20 touches, paying $1.14.
This is bold because Lambert has burned me a few times.
I was going to say, my memory of Lambert is 19.
I'm not...
Like, literally, he could be number 19, and I believe you.
I'll be honest, Steve. I think you're a moron. I'm not real happy about this one.
No, I don't want to be that guy that's counting the winnings before they come in. But this comes up. I know it's $1.14, but this comes up, and that's sitting about $790 odd.
Hey, I hope the captain doesn't need this money for his pills.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because otherwise, he is in trouble.
I don't like this at all. I've got a real bad feeling.
He might remain short and limp. And that brings us to the end of what's been a belting round 3. Thank you for joining us, the Armchair Advisors. As always, look, you take these bets at your own risk. We don't advocate you do any of that. If you're listening on the pod and you still haven't got around the video shows, Sensible Dan, how do the punters find us on the social medias?
Well, first of all, dig yourself out from under the rock you've been living under. Secondly, go to Instagram, Armchair AD, or Twitter, Armchair AD, or Facebook, Armchair Advisors. We're there. We're content galore. There's about 9 videos a week coming out at the moment, all chopped up and
busy.
You know, it's great.
Busy.
Get around us. Get around us.
We will see you next week for round 4. Take it easy. Have a good one.